Ambassador Walimba Charles, the Secretary General of the new General Assembly, Third General Assembly of Inzu Ya Masaaba. Today we had the General Assembly, which I put a notice in the new vision of 23rd, 24th to meet, and this was following the letter which was interpreted by the Solicitor General. The argument is that Mudoma, the current Umukuka, moved away from Inzu Ya Masaaba and created his own, which, when I was his Prime Minister, we disagreed. And that's what he went around telling people, that he had chased me. You chased me from where? I am born here, I have grown here, I have done many things in Masaba land, which he will never do. He will never. We have come out to serve Bamasaaba, and we think for the future of the children who are going to come after us. And that's why I came out to support him, thinking that we were going to build a good foundation of Inzu Ya Masaaba. But when I saw him starting to make his own vichukuli, I didn't know the man likes money than the future of the children of Masaba land. And we insisted, when I was his Prime Minister, we had to make elections for a General Assembly, which he rejected. And the intention, people didn't know when we moved out. They thought we were either looking for power or what. No, we disagreed. The man came out, he threw out the constitution of Inzu Ya Masaaba, which Inzu Ya Masaaba made him to be elected, to be sworn in, and gazetted as Umukuka. But immediately he was sworn in, he threw it out, and we came out. And we've been keeping quiet. Now, why are we here? We have been telling people that this man has his own. So he has moved out of Inzu Ya Masaaba. So Inzu Ya Masaaba is empty. But according to the constitution of Inzu Ya Masaaba, the current Umukuka who came out of Inzu Ya Masaaba, his term ends on 6th October because he was elected on 6th October. And to confirm, I have a letter which I don't have it now. He appointed me, immediately was sworn in as his Prime Minister. I have an appointment letter. And that's a proof that the man is 4 years, 5 years, end 6th October. So with the clarification of the Solicitor General, I had to, as Secretary General of Inzu Ya Masaaba, with the help of Speaker Mzewe Daira, we had to summon a General Assembly. And the purpose of the General Assembly, one, is to understand the letter of the Solicitor General. Two, to put a committee, to go, a search committee to go and search for the Umukuka Wehane, the fourth Umukuka. And we have got the committee. We have sent them, given them assignment to go and search for Umukuka number 4 of Inzu Ya Masaaba. And because we have, our constitution talks about rotational leadership, we have agreed as Bamasaaba that the next Umukuka number 4 comes from the family of Wanale, because Wanale gave us the first Umukuka, Mzee WW Wamimbi. Number 2 came from Mubuya, Mzee Mshikori the late. And number 3 has come from Wambo. And we didn't want a competition, because that's why we've agreed that Wanale gives us the next Umukuka.
Okay, so the delegates are...
I'm not disappointed as a person, but the community of Bamasaaba, where I'm a member, are disappointed. And why I was invited in this meeting was because I played a very big role in bringing this conflict to its end by the support of government and our Umukuka 1 emeritus. Only that at the end of the term of Umukuka 3 is where we have seen drastic changes which are not supported by the community. One, it is true we hail from a region, a sub-region called Bugisu. But culturally, we are not Bagisu, but we are Bamasaaba. But because that is an administrative name, we take it. Only that when we are dealing in matters of culture, as Bamasaaba, we are identified as Bamasaaba. Even our dear President, His Excellency General Tario Kaguta Museveni, when he's in our area here, refers to us as Bamasaaba. For you, if you attended the meeting where Umukuka came, I mean His Excellency came to Maruku one time, where we had Umukuka suburb Mshkori. When the anthem of Bamasaaba was played, even His Excellency, the President, got interested and said he would even propose our rhythm and some words to the East African leaders because the anthem was wonderful. So if all of a sudden, but by whatever means, the name of the cultural institution changes from the cultural origin name of our ancestor Masaba to something else, it annoys Bamasaaba. Two, changing the logo of Inzu Ya Masaaba to some funny creature of an animal with over 12 horns. It has actually surprised Bamasaaba because we have never been identified in any way by an animal, with an animal. And also removing the anthem is something which Bamasaaba cannot take, because coming up with this cultural institution took a wider consultation of not less than 9 years to come up with what we have as a cultural institution. Therefore, if there are drastic changes that are going to take place, they need to be communicated to Bamasaaba, and a thorough consultation to agree on what changes would have been the ideal. Lastly, as Bamasaaba, in our cultural institution, for us, our cultural institution is not hereditary. Yes, it is not hereditary. Ours, each lineage, like for us here, we have 3 lineages. One is of Mwambu, Mubuya, and Mwambu. So each lineage in each given rotation is given 5 years. So how you use 5 years as a lineage, it's upon you. If you begin with the bickering and the time ends, when the 5 years clocks, another Inda or lineage qualifies to now also have Umukuka coming from that lineage. That's why you see, when you go by 2020, when this Umukuka was elected, his term ends in October this year. Lastly, there have been rumors going around, spread by the very His Highness Umukuka, that it is the government which changed the name of Bamasaaba to Bugisu. As a representative of government has never forced a community to identify to what they are not identified with. That's why even in the letter of the Attorney General, it was very clear. He said it was the insistence of Umukuka, Jude Mike Mudoma, that he want to be identified in another name which is not the cultural name of Bugisu, and that one cannot be tied to government. Bamasaaba, government has not done it. That was the dealing of Umukuka and his lawyer. So for us, nobody should blame government. Government has given us a lot of freedom in culture, politics, and economics.
I'm Daina Nelson. I've been a speaker of the General Assembly of Inzu Ya Masaaba in the previous regime of late Bob Mshikori, whose term ended in 20s in 2020, around October. Before the end of his term, as usual, we had set up the search committee. Search committee is the committee from the General Assembly, which is formed by the General Assembly to go and identify a potential Umukuka from the clans of a particular lineage, Zinda of Inzu Ya Masaaba. So when it came up with the names, of course, Mudoma was elected purely as Umukuka of Inzu Ya Masaaba. But of course, there was some delay in gazettement by the ministry, but our constitution stipulates that upon election, you start working as Umukuka. So he continued working, just like the previous leaders. They were gazetted some 2, 3, 4 years like that. So now, in 2023, it's when Jude Mudoma was gazetted, but was elected in 2020 around October. So the coming of the meeting today was first of all to find out why the current Umukuka has actually left the Inzu Ya Masaaba in which he was elected and put up his own institution called the Bugisu. And the Bugisu, he works alone. It has no structures. It has no culture council. It has no general assembly. It has no secretariat. So he does things as Umukuka, as the Kabaka of Uganda. But the Kabaka of Uganda has got a council of elders. This one doesn't have. So why we came here today was to meet and discuss why he tried to change the name of the institution. Earlier on, as we read his election, he had agreed, of course he was telling us, he is Umukuka of Inzu Ya Masaaba. But with time, we were demanding for the General Assembly or elected delegates from the clans of Inzu Ya Masaaba. He was only promising, we shall do it, we shall do it. But we found it was wasting time. Some years passed. That's why the elders came up and said, no, we're going to make the General Assembly. Our General Assembly was formed this year early for the purposes of checking what the Umukuka is doing. So that General Assembly formed the structures like the Culture Council, the Secretariat, and the Governing Board. It's until recently when we discovered that the man had truly changed the institution to Inzu Ya Bugisu, to Bugisu institution by himself without consultation with the elders and even without a General Assembly, and doing it himself alone. So in our first General Assembly, he's now been trying to stop us from conducting elections because he knows he can be challenged. So that's what he didn't want. He goes to police, he does what? But with us we inform police that what we are doing is culture issues. We are not against government or anybody, not even Mudoma, but the system. Because Inzu Ya Masaaba belongs to the Bamasaaba. It is the past elders who put up people of substance, elders of substance. For example, the previous Supreme Court judge, the judge of Uganda, or other justice. There was Kodovia Wakiro, there was Professor Dan Nabdele, there was William Wanedea, Cornelius Wekunya, Engineer Sakwa, Mangama Charles. All those elders combined the ideas to come up with the Inzu Ya Masaaba, which this one is trying to avoid or to kill without even consulting other delegates. So our meeting today was to purposely form a cultural council, a search committee to go to Indayewa Nale, which is the next to bring in the Umukuka, such that by October 6th, a new Umukuka must be in place.
Yeah, you know, this man is a wiseacre, and he's somebody. I don't know whether he's a Christian, because if you're a Christian, leadership comes from God, but it passes through the people. He knows very well that his term of office ends on 6th October 2025, after 5 years. But the whole of his intention, all these calculations, is that one, he wants to amass the property in his own institution, which he has done. I won't tell you, when I was his prime minister, we came up with a proposal, which I believe is being funded by the friends from US, worth $10 million. And one of the hurries of changing is that he wanted the money to come through his organization, so his intention is, one, the intention which he had, the original one, he wants to be life, so that when he passes away, his children takes over, like Uganda. But ours is not. Two, he's trying to play around so that he had another 3 years. That's why he's claiming that he is Umukuka when he was gazetted. But I won't tell you that Umukuka WW number 1 was gazetted by government after 4 years, and he was paid these arrears. Mzee late Mshikori was gazetted after 3 years in office, and he was also paid these arrears. And after 5 years, they all willingly allowed the search committee to get the next Umukuka, and that's how we brought Mudoma in office.
We are disappointed with the current Umukuka because of what he has changed in our Inzu Ya Masaaba. We have been having several meetings consulting him, and people telling him not to change anything in the constitution of Bamasaaba. But we have realized that he has changed this into Bugisu, Buguga bwe Bagisu, meaning king of Bugisu. Inzu Ya Masaaba started with very important people in this Masaba land. When you look at Masika was the Chief Justice of Uganda. He is a man who knows how to make the constitution. Engineer Sagwa Darlington was among those who started this Inzu Ya Masaaba. Dan Nabudere, the late Musene, also a judge. Wangutusi also was among this, and many others, including Umukuka, the first Umukuka, Wamimbi Wilson. Those were the elders who started the Umukuka, and on a very strong foundation. Now here, when we got the Umukuka 3, we had to change all what we are seeing now. Umukuka has the Bamasaaba national, the Bamasaaba anthem. When you listen to that Bamasaaba anthem, it will tell you almost everything which touches Bamasaaba. And now if you change it to Bugisu, I don't know whether he's going to even have also his anthem, or is still using ours. But we are disappointed because he has not followed what our elders put in place. And this is misleading the Bamasaaba. That's why we are here. We want to bring the Inzu Ya Masaaba back, so that what he says that they have disgazetted the Inzu, we want even to tell the government that what the government is doing is not on the right track, because we as Bamasaaba ourselves, we are not in for that. Umukuka, the current, I think he has only his interests to fulfill, because for us we are not like Baganda. Baganda has the king, and now if you also change that Umukuka bwe Bamasaaba, meaning king of Bamasaaba, meaning you are changing the constitution to make sure that nobody is maybe from the clans, like we had agreed in the constitution that we shall be rotational from Mwambu, from to Mubuya to Wanale. He wants to change that, and he wants to make Buguga, I think, to make himself live for some other person, not us as Bamasaaba to have someone to say this is the one we are electing.
Your resolutions?
So our resolution is that one, we want to good enough we got a letter from the Attorney General also saying I think what he was doing was not right. So we have resolved that we write back to the Attorney General informing him on what is happening on ground. Two, we also informing them that the term of Umukuka, the current Umukuka, is about to expire. So we are putting a search committee to have a new Umukuka from Inzu Ya Masaaba.
The two words are correct, because one, we came in as leaders of Inzu Ya Masaaba. But if you turn around and create another one, and we disagree with you, you can use those two words on us. But I will tell you that we disagreed because the man dishonored the constitution of Inzu Ya Masaaba and the institution which brought him to be Umukuka, number 3. So, at my age and my colleagues, there was no way we would sit there when the man has brought his chupuri and we say, yes sir, no. It's a pity that a young man like Masika is telling population lies. But give him some time. Masika should be told that just give a few 2-3 months. He will come back to, if he's Masaba, he will come back to the normal senses. He's just beating about because the money the government is giving Umukuka, which is pocketing, and when he gives him 10,000 and he thinks he can insult some of us. Well, let me tell you, I am very lucky. After the 1995 constitution, I was elected by every Masaba, and I'm the only leader who was chairman of LC5 for the whole of Bugisu. Thereafter, when Mujas comes, we had already started creating Bugisu. And I've been in the council of Masaba land since 1989 to date. So you can't beat me in the leadership of Bugisu. You can't say you understand the Bugisu better than me. So I pitied this young Masika. And for me, I can't waste time arguing with him because he's just shouting, and he thinks people who are reading news by insulting people like Walimba, people like the 5Ws. He's wasting time. Tell him, please, Masika, concentrate on your own things. You are in the wrong direction. This fire is going to dump you.